Do14 is on the posterior midline, below the spinous process of C7 in a depression. Do12 is on the posterior midline, below the spinous process of T3.
Small intestine 15 is located 2 cun lateral to the inferior border of C7. Locate your C7, use the medial border of the spine of scapula to dictate your 3 cun mark, move out 2 cun to find this point. Gallbladder 21 is located midway between Do14 at the base of C7 and the lateral extremity of the acromion process, but at the crest of the trapezius muscle. To find the crest of the muscle, it may be necessary to dip down slightly to make sure you get the highest part. This point forms a line with Sanjar 15 and small intestine 13. Gallbladder 21.
Ren4 is on the lower abdomen on the midline, 2 cun superior to the symphysis pubis. Large intestine 4, you're going to find the length of the second metacarpal bone. So running your finger down, finding the base, making sure that you're not actually on the carpal bones themselves, finding the midpoint of that shaft of bone, coming between the first and second metacarpals, nearer to the second than the first in the muscle.
Large intestine 11 is located at the midpoint between lung 5 and the prominence of the lateral epicondyle of the humerus. Typically, this is at the end of the transverse cubital crease when the arm is fully flexed. Large intestine 10 is located 10 cun proximal to large intestine 5 on a line heading towards large intestine 11. Palpate along that line and fall into a nice groove in the muscle at 10 cun. Bladder 40 is located at the midpoint of the popliteal crease, in between the tendons biceps femoris and semitendinosus. To bring these tendons into relief, get the person to take the weight of their own leg. It then becomes quite easy to feel these 2 tendons. It's also easier to see where the popliteal crease lies. When they lower the leg, make sure you mark this point directly in the centre of the popliteal crease. Bladder 10 is located 1.3 cun lateral to Do15. It's 4.5 cun from Do15 to the mastoid process. So divide this area into 3 and just come a little closer to the posterior midline. You'll be on the lateral edge of the trapezius muscle. To locate gallbladder 20, palpate up the groove in between the sternocleidomastoid and trapezius muscles. As you get to the base of the occiput, you will find a nice depression. Gallbladder 20 is in the centre of that depression. Do23 is located on the anterior midline, 1 cm posterior to the anterior hairline. We take the distance between the centre of the glabella and the anterior hairline as being 3 cm. So divide this into 3 to get your 1 cm to move back to locate Do23. Large intestine 20 is located in the nasolabial groove, level with the midpoint of the ala nasi. The ala nasi is the nostril. So find the superior border of the nostril, the inferior border of the nostril, hence the midpoint, and come out into the nasolabial groove. Bladder 2 is located in a depression at the medial aspect of the eyebrow. Palpate along the supraorbital margin until you locate a nice dip at the medial end of the eyebrow. That's your bladder 2. Do25 is on the anterior midline at the very tip of the nose.